So you are about to buy a service from somebody who is a professional service provider, and you know um, you're kind of having a chat, and then they mentioned that they actually belong to the network of angel investors, or they know some investors, or once you get to work together, they will make few introductions. Have you been in that situation? I'm pretty sure if you've been doing startups before, you happen to hear that either from the lawyers or from somebody else who would like to, have business from you. Well, I've heard a lot of stories about that. I experienced that myself. And I can tell for sure that it's not gonna happen, because you have to earn that introduction with the sweat and blood. And if they were giving the introductions to the investors that they know, to every of their clients, they would run out of the introduction slots years ago. Think about it yourself. Can they introduce every of their clients to some selected investors whom they know? And if they were able to do it, wouldn't it mean that those investors would not take the introduction seriously? Like, can the investor invest into 10 startups that your lawyer has introduced to them? I don't think so. I think it's impossible. So when somebody tells you that they are gonna make the intro to investors, think about it twice. Don't take it for granted. Don't build the false expectations for yourselves. Now, you probably could also, ask that question to myself. As the CEO and co-founder of Applicature, the company that has dealt with the blockchain world a lot, are we making the introductions? Do we recommend startups to the firms that we know, like VC firms and token funds, etc.? Well, for sure we do, but do we introduce every of our clients right away? No, it's impossible. Like, otherwise, those introductions they would inflate over time. Like, they would pretty much cost nothing. They would be worthless. So what introductions do we make? What does a company or a startup has to have in order for us to be willing to make the intro, to vouch, on that startup and stake our reputation on it? Well, first of all, it's about the team. So one of the indicators that the startup is going to be a success, if it is backed by the team that is super organized, that have been working in the space before, like they know what they are talking about, they have the previous experience, the previous success, they have the connections, Rolodex, partnership opportunities, you name it, everything that will mitigate the possible risks of the failure. And because oftentimes we are the service providers to those companies, it's very clear to see how organized they are, because usually they would not treat us with such a thoroughness as if they would treat their potential investors. So they behave with us in a very natural way, in a way that their organization works. They would not hide their drawbacks and issues of their corporate culture. So when we spot a client that is super organized with us, although they might have the expectation for us to organize everything, but they help us organize things and work together in a partnership over their success, that's a sign for us that we should have a closer look at such company. And because we accelerate the companies, and it takes months, sometimes it may take up to a year to accelerate the company to a certain significant degree of success. It's quite a path. We are burning quite a lot of our own efforts, including all of the C-level team together on the advisory calls and on the sprint planning and demo calls. Yes, we actually do sprints for all the activities with the clients, similar to how software development teams would do that. So it's important for us to select the right partners and clients to accelerate. Yeah. So we do that, and sometimes clients would ask us to make an intro to an investor, and we would say no. We would say, well, you know what, you're not there yet. We don't want to burn the only and one chance of making the first impression, the right impression, right? Once you make an intro and the stage is inappropriate, investor will say no, and for sure they will revisit it if we ask for it. But what's the point? You just have to get ready for the appropriate introduction, for the appropriate relationship, and once you're ready, just go all in. And that's the way we operate. It's been showing itself pretty good so far. So I hope it's been helpful. Please, if you have any questions about how to work with investors, just post in the comments below, and we are always happy to jump on a quick call or answer any questions over the email. Thank you. Have a good one.